You have 3 now?
3, that's right.
2 boys and a girl?
No, 2 girls and a boy.
Are you through now?
Time to start?
Are you going to have more children?
My wife here? No, I guess she is.
Rolling?
Okay. You want me to answer that?
A nice, yes, I'd like an answer to that. First father I've ever seen made up. It's usually the mother that gets made up. Father is willing to usually go along with his regular sallow complexion.
I was willing.
And rough exterior. I think it's much better. I think a woman likes a man that way, don't you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to wear this.
Where were you born?
No joke, I was born in China.
You were, huh? What part?
Peking.
No, that's too easy.
I was expecting it.
There's some things even I stop at.
Ready, Eddie?
You may fire when ready, Gridley.
Okay, rolling.
That's not really his name, Gridley. We just call
Okay,
him.
cameras. Everything all right, Pat? Ralph, okay?
Could have heard the Luck Show if it wasn't for this. Now it's no soap.
Don't forget to help us.
I'm out of luck. What did you say? I didn't say.
Don't forget to help us with the Shout Show as we go. All right?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is name. N-A-M-E.
Really?
You bet your life. Belgian American, creator of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, magic action lighters, most beautiful dresser sets, presents Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
What a ridiculous name. Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you, thank you. Well, here I am again with the $1,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who's first to try for it?
A pair of newlyweds, Groucho, selected by our studio audience just before we went on the air. And here they come now, Mr. and Mrs. Howard Scala. Right up here, ladies.
Welcome, youngsters, for Elgin American Compacts, and a Happy New Year. And if you say the secret word, you win a 16mm Apollo Sound movie projector that sells for $129.50. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Newlyweds, eh? Well, you're the tallest newlyweds I ever saw. Howard Scala, eh? Scala, is that the way you pronounce it?
That's right, Scala.
What kind of name is that?
That's a German
Italian?
name.
Scala?
It's a German.
That's so. Doesn't sound German. Sounds, well, I was thinking of La Scala, I guess. Italian opera house. You're the groom, I presume. You're the groom, I presume, huh?
That's right.
I just wanted to be sure. I can't see that high up. How long have you been married?
1 week.
That's 2 weeks between you, huh? Well, Arlene? Arlene, huh? I'll just call you Shorty. Is that all right?
That's okay.
How tall are you?
I'm exactly 6 feet in my stocking feet.
And how tall are you in your bare feet?
The same.
You wear very thin stockings, eh? How tall are you, Boxcar?
6 foot 6.5.
6 foot 6.5, huh? And how's the weather up there?
Well, not quite as smoggy as it is down there.
Reminds me of Bob Sherwood, the playwright. He's an old friend of mine, and he's 6'5" and very thin. I said to him one day, I says, Bob, what do you say to people when they ask you how the weather is up there? He says, I spit in their eye and tell them it's raining. What did you say when I asked you what kind of a name that was?
It was German.
German. What, huh? A German what?
Name.
Dachshund or? He's certainly eager to give away things on this show. Yeah. What did he win?
I'll tell you, Groucho.
Huh? Well, I wish you would. Huh?
All right. They won an Apollo 16mm projector.
Which sells?
For $129.50.
That's right.
Show Hollywood movies or movies they take themselves.
Well, nobody wants to show Hollywood movies anymore. Huh? Now, let's see, when I got wiped out by that thing. Where are you from, Arlene?
I'm from California.
You're a very beautiful girl, you know that?
Thank you.
Did you know that, too?
I certainly did. And do.
You're from California. Which part, Arlene?
This part.
Well, where's the rest of you from? Where are you from, Howard?
I grew up in this part, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, you better get out of town, or you may never stop growing. How much do you weigh, Howard?
Oh, about 305 pounds.
Is that on the hoof? Arlene, how did you meet this mighty Joe Young?
I met him in the California Tip Toppers.
What's the Tip Toppers?
Well, it's a club for tall people where the girls have to measure at least 6 feet.
Well, whose feet do they measure?
No, the girls have to be at least 6 feet tall, and the fellows at least be 6'4".
You're not stretching things a bit, are you? You were both at the Tip Toppers Club? How did you meet them?
We were washing dishes at a Tip Topper party.
Is that what you do at the club there, just wash dishes? Don't you ever get them dirty? You just wash them?
At the time, it was we were prospects in the club, and of course, all prospects must do all the cleaning up. So I was washing, and he was wiping dishes.
And what happened?
Well, we were talking, and so forth.
You threw him a towel or something?
Yes, over the suds.
I suppose if you'd had an electric dishwasher there, you'd never met, huh? Shows you how these modern inventions are ruining everything. Were there a lot of your tall friends at the wedding?
There were a few.
Were they all high? Where did you go on your honeymoon, Arlene? Mount McKinley?
No. Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. Why did you go to Phoenix?
Well, it's such a, well, I'll have to say the climate.
You like
nice climate,
you like
yes.
the climate there. What do you do for a living, Howard?
I play left tackle for the Green Bay Packers professional football team. The main reason that I'm not playing now, I was disabled at the first of the season with a slight injury, and so now I have to wait till next year.
What happened? What happened?
I dropped 2 metatarsal bones in my right foot.
You dropped them, you said? What do you do, carry them in a bag? What do you mean you dropped some tarsal bones?
Well, they
You strew them around the field or something?
they fell out of place.
Somebody tackled you? Is that what
I
happened?
was hit on the leg.
Imagine tackling this when it's running down the field. I'd rather stop in front of the super chief. And now, well, how do you live? Do you get insurance for... You get bone insurance or something?
No.
Are you boning up on your studies? Or?
Well, right now, at present, I'm unemployed, but I mean, I'm going to work here in town until next season.
And then you're going to...
Go back.
Go back.
I hope.
You ever play against Notre Dame?
No, afraid not.
You look pretty happy, too, huh? Arlene, where did you work before you were married?
I still do. I work at the Carnation Milk Company.
Oh. Are you as tall now as when you were single? That's odd, really, because after they get married, lots of men find themselves very short. Well, in spite of the fact that you two giants make me feel pretty low, we're happy to have you here. Now, Fenneman, you have some perfect gifts, I presume, for these people.
I certainly do.
Well, whip them out.
All right, for Arlene, we have a sterling silver compact engraved in 14-karat gold, an Elgin American, of course. There you are, Arlene.
Thank you.
How do you like it, Shorty?
Very pretty.
And what have you got for Big Boy?
Well, for Howard, we have a sterling silver cigarette case engraved in 14-karat gold. Also an Elgin American, holds 16 king-size and 20 regular cigarettes, Howard.
Thank you. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Arlene, would you mind looking in that compact and looking in the mirror and see how you look?
If I can get it open.
Can you open it?
Yes.
What do you see?
My face.
I got robbed. All I can see is my face. Well, Arlene, as a tall girl, you must have had some unusual experiences. Do you know any tall stories that you'd care to relate?
Well, I think of one that was quite embarrassing. I was in a department store, and I was standing by the escalator with some packages, of course. And as I was standing there, accidentally one of my packages hit the button which controls the escalator to make it stop. And, of course, it hit it. And the escalator stopped with all the people on it. And at first I didn't realize it was me that had hit the button until I looked around. And
is that the first time you hit the button?
No. But I was quite embarrassed because I slowly walked away.
And what happened to the people on the escalator? Are they still there?
Oh, no, they walked down very fast.
What do you, I forgot to ask you, what do you do at the milk company?
I'm working in the Albers Milling Company accounting.
I thought you said you were with a milk company.
Well, Albers Milling is part of Carnation Company.
Oh, I see. You have nothing to do with the cows.
No, I don't milk them, thank goodness.
Have to be a pretty high cow for you to milk. Now, what has been your most unusual experience as a telephone pole?
The most unusual one I can think of is when I was in school.
Where'd you go to school?
College. I went to Compton. And they had a party one night, a house party, and I was near the front window.
Is that anything like Linkletter's house party? I just said that because Linkletter is sitting out here tonight. He'd have been very angry if I hadn't mentioned it. Of course, we'll take it out tomorrow, but that's another story. And we may take Linkletter out tonight. Did you ever take out Linkletter? More fun than milking cows, huh? And just about as productive. Now, where were we?
Well, and I started to walk out the door and paused to talk to someone, and as I backed up, I tripped over a small stool that was so far down I could hardly see it and fell.
You're a very graceful couple, you two.
I slipped and slightly fell through the bay window. And
have you still got the bay window?
I can't answer.
You'll get it in a few years. Now, what do you do at your club, Arlene? I mean, what do they do there?
Well,
you just don't stand there and walk around tall, do you?
Oh, no. It's a social club, and also they all tall people can congregate and talk over the problems that tall people have.
Well, what are the problems that tall people have?
Plenty.
Well, what, for example? Huh?
Well, for instance, there's clothes, beds. King-size beds are very rare. Also, in the houses, there aren't many facilities for people who are very tall, like the sinks, or windows, or doorways, particularly.
Your head gets mighty sore walking through those doors when they're all so low.
And
you
all
spend a good
wearing
deal of
apparel.
time ducking then, right?
Yes.
Have you ever gone out with a short man, Arlene?
Yes, I have.
I don't mean financially, I mean physically, huh?
Yes, I have.
And were you embarrassed or anything, or was he embarrassed?
Yes, I was embarrassed because I wasn't told he was short at first. It was a blind
date. Huh?
Yes.
Was he blind at the finish, or?
Yes.
He was. How big was your smallest girlfriend, Howard?
Oh, around 4.5 feet. Plus, I was 4.5 feet at the time, too.
I don't get that. Were you on your hands and knees? How do you mean you were only 4.5 feet?
Well, you have to grow up.
Oh, I see. You were just
down,
a little fellow then. I see. Well, in the future, pick on somebody your own size, huh? Are there many tall girls born in your family, Arlene?
Well, they all had to be babies. They all had to grow up.
I'm not doing very well here tonight. I'm on the wrong side of this microphone. Arlene, I've never kissed a real tall girl. Would you mind if I kissed you?
Not at all, if Howard didn't mind.
How about it, big boy?
Well, it'd have to be over my dead body.
Well, if that's the way you want it. Fenneman, get the gun, huh? Howard, seriously, could I kiss your wife for $20?
No.
How much is it a foot? Suppose I kissed her and you didn't know anything about it.
Well, I'd know about it.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to trap you. Howard, I'll bet you $1. I'll bet you $1 I can kiss your wife and you won't know a thing about it. Bet?
Okay, it's a bet.
Okay. Would you mind moving aside there? Just a moment. Well, you saw me kiss her, didn't you?
That's right.
I lose. Here's your $1, huh? Well, I've kidded you, too, about your height, but I'm sure you're tall enough to overlook everything. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together as a team for $1,000. But right now, I want you to pay attention to this.
Everybody goes for Elgin American's terrific new Socialite lighters. So beautifully designed and finished, they look like jewelry, and they work like magic. That's their marvelous magic action, the most modern, surefire mechanism of any lighter made. Yet these last words, Socialite lighters for men and women, are priced from just $4.95. By all means, see them tomorrow at your leading store and buy the finest lighters you can use or give. Socialite lighters by Elgin American.
All right, now let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,000 question. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. Fenneman, bring them up to date on the rules.
All right, each of our 3 couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's going on out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected songs with baby in the title as your category. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, now here's your first question. You have $20. How much are you going to bet?
$5.
Talk right up now. $5. All right. Jerry Fielding will supply the music. You give me the title. Play, Jerry. Yes, sir, that's my baby is right.
And they're off to a great start with $25, Groucho.
Wish I had my buck back. Now, all right, here's it. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $25 will you try?
$10.
$10. Okay, here we go. What is the name of this song?
Melancholy Baby.
Melancholy Baby's on the nose.
The timing now, they have $35.
All right, you got $35. Here's your third question. How much of the $35 you're going to try?
20.
$20. Give me the title of this baby song. Okay, Jerry. Baby Face is right.
They're really on their way now. They have $55.
All right, you're climbing up. You got $55. How much of the $55 you going to try?
30.
$30. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You're going to bet $30. What is the title of this song? Everybody loves a baby. Pretty baby is right. They know it. He said the first line. Oh, of course they know it. Look how honest they look. You can't take that away from them.
Wait a minute. Start again,
Pretty baby.
Pretty baby is right.
And they wind up with $85.
Take them away. Thanks and Happy New Year from Elgin American Compacts. Now stick around. You may still get a chance at the big question.
Well, Groucho, the secret word is still named, I think. And we have some people out here who have
You
been...
have, huh?
Yes, we do.
That's very interesting.
Thank you. Selected by our studio audience.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, George.
Yeah, I know. We'll start over.
All right, let's have a clean break now. Huh?
All right. I'll walk around the block.
Okay, wait a minute.
Would you walk up?
Okay.
Just keep walking back and forth until Fenneman extricates himself from this dilemma.
We changed minds.
You may fire when ready.
All right. You have to ask me.
Okay, what do you want me to say?
Go ahead, George.
Go ahead, George. That's some ad-lib, eh?
Groucho, the secret word is still name. Perhaps our next couple will say it. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience Our secret word is no longer name, because undoubtedly our next couple will say it. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a car hop and a married man, and here they come. Mrs. Evelyn Fredrickson and Mr. Larry Stearns. Meet Groucho Marx. You come over here.
Hello, folks, and welcome to You Bet Your Life.
Hello,
And
how are
if
you?
one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16mm Apollo sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Evelyn Fredrickson, is that right?
That's right.
Miss Evelyn
Miss,
Fredrickson?
that's right.
Thanks for that. You're the car hop, huh?
Yes, I am.
I knew it. My headlight started flashing the minute you walked in. Where are you from, Miss Fredrickson?
I'm from Shannon's on Pico and Sepulveda.
Shannon's,
Shannon's Drive-In.
How are the hamburgers?
They're terrific.
Well, if they're anything like the car hops. Mr. Steins? Larry Steins?
Larry Stearns.
You're the husband?
Yes, I am, sir.
How long have you been married to Evelyn?
Oh, that isn't my wife.
Well, don't come and running to me with your troubles. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
You have any kids?
3 and I think 4 pretty soon.
When were you home last? Does your wife know you're out with a car hop tonight?
Well, my wife, I'm out with my wife tonight.
You just said she wasn't your wife now. What are you trying to hide here, Larry?
My wife's out in the audience there.
Oh, see. Trying to hide your wife, eh? How did you meet your wife?
Well, decided I'd take some photography at night school. Thought I'd learn something, maybe. And,
Well, don't be too despondent.
well, actually, one night there, I met her in the dark room.
You met your wife in the dark room?
Yes, sir.
Was she well developed?
Uh,
I don't know how that crept in there. I'll creep out again. Would you mind going ahead?
Well, I used to go to photography with a friend of mine, a guy named George.
That's a good name for a friend, I think.
Well, we used to fool around in the dark room. He'd sock me and I'd sock him, and
You went in the dark room and just socked each other? Huh?
well, just while
How
we.
did you know who you were hitting in the dark?
Well, I did, and I hit my wife that time, or she wasn't my wife then, and that's where the trouble began.
You hit your wife and now you've got 4 kids, huh?
Not quite 4 yet. I think 4.
Well, what happened after you slugged your wife, who was then just a stranger to you, huh?
Well, she decided to tell me off a little bit, and she's been doing it ever since, I guess.
Well, how did she know you hit her if it was pitch dark in there?
She found out.
You tell her?
Well, I had to apologize in a sort of a way, and of course, the other guy, he ran out in a hurry, so I was left there. There was nobody else. So I got stuck with the crime.
It's a very sad story, all Evelyn, just what is a car hop?
A car hop is a car waitress.
Let's see. You wait for cars, is that right? Well, why do they call you car hops? Was your mother frightened by a kangaroo?
No, it's because we hop from car to car.
Do you hop on one leg, or...?
No, we hop on 2 legs.
Where do you do all this hopping?
At Shannon's Drive-In on Pico and Sepulveda.
I see. That has a faintly familiar ring to it. Is it true that many girls become car hops in order to be noticed by movie producers?
Yes, I believe that is true.
Offhand, I'll bet there are more movie producers trying to get noticed by car hops. Well, what are the requirements to get a job as a car hop?
Well, a car hop should be quick, fast, alert, able-bodied.
Well,
Pretty.
you seem to fill those requirements. You should be well-rounded, in other words, huh?
That's right.
Well, why do drive-in restaurants specialize in hiring beautiful girls?
Because it draws more business.
Nice-looking
Naturally.
car hops mean that more business?
Right, much more business.
Well, if you mean business, I'll change my tactics. My wife means business, too. Larry, what sort of work do you do?
Well, I was teaching people how to drive.
And was your car wrecked?
No.
How long did it last, Larry?
Week and a half.
How'd you lose your job?
Well, I was teaching someone how to drive, and I got a ticket for giving the wrong signal.
My hunch is you've done a lot of teaching around this town. Anything unusual happen around your place?
You mean beside the kids? Or?
Oh, you must have had an eventful life. What's your most unusual story, Larry?
Well, I had a lot of jobs. I never seemed to keep any of them too long.
Well, if you keep putting out the wrong hand, I can understand why.
The most unusual thing, I was selling vacuum cleaners for a little while. And I sort of developed a system. I thought it was pretty smart. I'd leave the machine out in the car, the new machine, and go in and demonstrate with their old one, because if you walk up to the house with a machine, they throw you out. They slam the door in your face. And it's when I lost my job, because I was in the house demonstrating without a cleaner, and her husband came home and...
What did the husband say when you saw you demonstrating without a cleaner? Was he amused by this, or?
I didn't give him much chance to say or be amused at all. I thought I'd better leave.
Was the motor running on your car? Tell me, Hopscotch, you don't care if I call you Hopscotch, huh?
No, go ahead.
Which gives you the most trouble, men or women customers?
I believe women give you the most trouble.
Well, why is that?
Well, they're more demanding, and
what do they demand? New car hops? Ugly car hops?
I think they demand men car hops, to tell you the truth.
Well, which would you rather wait on, men or women?
Oh, I believe I'd rather wait on men. They're much easier to please.
In what way?
Well, they don't expect such fast service, and they don't expect you to be too pleasant. I mean, you don't have to put out so much to a man as you do to a woman.
You see. Is your drive-in at a good location, Evelyn?
Oh, I should say so. I believe.
Where is it?
Here goes Sepulveda.
How many cars would you say, would you say pass there in a day? Huh?
About 100,000 cars, I should say, pass by.
Well, why do they pass by? Isn't the food any good there? They don't all pass by, huh?
No, definitely
Well,
not.
what do you mean when business is slack?
Well, when business is slack, we just stand around and wait for them to come in.
Mm-hmm. Well, to make business good, what do? You just take in your slacks? Or?
No, we wear shorts when it gets hot.
You wear shorts?
Yes.
When it gets hot, you wear shorts, huh?
Yes, that's right.
I won't answer that. Now, Larry, you've been standing there a long time. What's the matter? Can't you get any service?
I don't seem to be doing very well.
Why don't you blow your horn? Tell me, how do you like driving into a restaurant when you just want a quick sandwich, Larry?
Well, you mean a drive-in?
Yeah.
Well, it's good. You
I
go
didn't
in.
mean Ciro's, huh?
I like it because you go in, you don't have to get dressed up or anything. You just...
Isn't that kind of chilly? What's your chief complaint against customers, Evelyn?
I believe my chief complaint is people that are always honking their horns.
What about the wolves who want you for an hors d'oeuvre, huh?
Well, that's an idea, too,
That's
yes.
an idea. You get pretty weary of them, huh?
Sometimes, yes.
What would you say the percentage of men who flirt with you?
Oh,
100%?
100%, yes.
That's pretty good average if you can keep
Pretty
that
good
up.
idea.
I've often wondered about the strange language that the car hops use. You know, you shout orders back to the cook. What are some of the code words you use?
Well, there's make one, that means hot chocolate. Leche means milk.
Leche means milk?
Mm-hmm.
What is the derivative of that? Huh?
That's milk.
I see. Well, why do they say leche? I thought that was a nut in Chinese or something. Yeah?
That's a Spanish word. Leche means milk in Spanish.
Oh, I see. It's too tough to holler milk in English, I suppose.
Then we have...
Do you ever scream any code words that have nothing to do with food?
Yes, such as 110. That means here comes the boss. Now he knows, see. And,
what does that mean? Boss is coming. Suppose he is coming.
That means do everything right. Immediately.
And when he's not there?
Well, still do everything right, naturally.
Well, I won't press you. Now, suppose I just drove up with my girl and my hot rod and ordered a Coke and 2 straws. What would you holler?
Stretch one for 2 deadbeats.
Well, cancel my order. You can't call my girl a deadbeat. Well, we enjoyed having you here tonight. Now we have some ideal gifts for each of you. George, proceed with the honors.
For Miss Fredrickson, Elgin American's beautiful simulated pearls. They're the finest pearls made by man. I'm sure you'll enjoy them.
Thank you very much.
And for Mr. Stearns,
What have you got here for Larry?
I have an Elgin American slim cigarette case in jeweler's bronze that looks like gold. There you are, Larry.
That's swell.
Why don't you hold it up, Larry, and show it to the customers? All right, that's enough of that. Now let's play You Bet Your Life for $1,000. You run your $20 into more than the other couples, and you get a chance at the big question later. Now, Fenneman's off stage to remind our listeners how much the first couple won. How are you two getting on? Still married? Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. You selected dice expressions as your category. Is that right, Larry?
Yes, it is.
That's quite revealing, that category. Now, here's your first question. You have $20. How much are you going to risk?
I'd say 10, 12.
How much? Talk right up.
She says 12.
$12. All right. Snake eyes is a throw of what number?
2.
2 is right.
And they're on their way with $32.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $32 you're going to try? Talk right up. Evelyn.
25, she
Here's the
says.
microphone right here.
25.
25.
Make believe this is Larry, huh? You're going to try $25. Okay. Big Dick is a throw of what number?
10.
10 is correct.
And now they have $57.
Now you have $57. Now, here's your third question. How much are you going to bet?
I'd like to bet it all.
Bet it all.
You want to bet it all. These two are really gamblers here. Okay, boxcars is a throw of what number?
Oh, that's 12.
12 is correct.
They're really climbing now. They have $114.
All right, you're shooting away up. You got $114, and how much you going to go for?
You want to shoot it all?
Let's
again?
shoot it all, shall we?
Shoot it all right. It's no more dangerous than going in a house without a vacuum cleaner. Here it is. $114. Little Phoebe is a throw of what number?
5.
5 is correct.
And they wind up with a grand total of $228.
Put it there, kid. You want $228. Thanks to both of you, and a Happy New Year from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we know who gets the $1,000 question. But right now, listen to this.
You know, Elgin American
Pretty sexy.
Compacts always look like a lot more than they cost. Smart as tomorrow in fashion, master craftsman engraving to the last detail. Clasps, mirrors, powder doors so flawless, They rival many other compacts that cost a lot more and packaged with the luxury of a gem. For yourself, for every woman on your gift list, you can't beat the greatest value of them all, exquisite, finest quality compacts by Elgin American.
Okay, now we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money and get the $1,000 question. George, who's ahead so far?
Well,
George, who's ahead so far?
the car hop and the
Isn't he cute, huh?
The car hop and the married man are ahead with $228, and the secret word is still name.
N-A-M-E.
Name.
Pretty brilliant, huh?
You figured it.
I should say.
We invited some college football players to the show tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Jess Swope. And his partner is a Hollywood chiropractor, Dr. Mar Elia. And here they come. Gentlemen, meet Groucho Marx. Right in here.
Welcome, kids, for Elgin American Compact. And a Happy New Year. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins a 16mm Apollo sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Jess, you're the football player, huh?
Yes, sir.
We have a surplus of football. We have a boy here from the Green Bay Packers here. Huh? You know him?
No, sir.
Well, you may before he's through here. How tall are you, Jess?
6'3", sir.
Well, you're only a baby, huh? You got to be taller than that to be a big man around here tonight. How old are you, Jess?
22 years old, sir.
Where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Are you married?
No, sir. I guess I'm lucky.
Why aren't you married, Jess?
I just haven't got much time for girls.
How much time do you need? Have you got a girl?
Yes, sir.
Well, would you mind telling us about her?
Well, she's about this tall, and she's got big brown eyes and sort of brown hair, and she's really nice.
Sort of mahogany, isn't she? What school do you attend?
University of Southern California, sir.
And you play football for USC?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're the only one on the team that does, huh? What position do you play, horizontal or perpendicular?
I play left offensive guard.
Offensive guard?
Yes, sir.
Have you tried a dab of perfume behind each other? Jess, what's your reason for going to college other than learning how to be offensive?
I'm planning to be a coach, sir.
A coach?
Yes, sir.
What kind of a coach? Hudson coach or?
Well, football and track mainly.
Oh, I see. And you're Dr. Sheikh Mar Elia? Is that?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Did
That's
I pronounce
right.
it correctly? What kind of a name is that?
That's an Iranian or Persian name.
Oh. Well, here we go again. You said name, and that's the secret word tonight. George, tell him what he wins.
You win an Apollo 16mm sound movie projector. With it, you can show movies you take yourself or Hollywood sound movies. Retail value, $129.50.
Thank you.
That'll teach me to keep my mouth shut. Now, do you say that's a Persian name, or?
Iranian or Persian name.
I see. Only one answer between you now. Make up your mind, Doc.
Well, you see, Iran is the correct name, but most of the foreigners call Persia. So Reza Shah Pahlavi put it out to the world. It should be called by its original name, Iran.
Well, your ruler is over here now, isn't he?
That's the son of the...
Steady there now. Now, what did you say, Doc? He's the son of...
This is the son of the gentleman that put this rule out into the world. His name was Reza Shah Pahlavi, but this man's name is Muhammad Reza Shah.
Well, let's skip the whole thing, huh? Now, you say he's from Iran?
Yes, sir.
What was he running from? Tell me, do Persian kittens really come from Persia?
Not necessarily. Usually they come from Persian cats.
would you like it if I went over to your house and stole your Persian rugs? I tell the jokes around here. Yes, I used to tell the jokes around. I know a lot about stealing rugs because I used to hook Persian rugs. You're a chiropractor, is that right?
Yes, sir, I am. Yes, sir, I am a chiropractor.
And what sort of work do you do?
I locate the cause of their suffering at the spine.
What do you use, a compass?
Take x-rays.
You take x-rays?
Yes, sir, of their spine. Then give adjustment with hands to correct the cause of their condition at the spine so the innate healing power within them can cure them.
Well, I'll bring my wife over. She's got all the backbone in our family. Are you married, Doc?
Yes, sir, I am.
Any children?
I have one son.
How did you meet your wife?
I met my wife here in Hollywood while I was a professional man. I was invited to have a Persian meal at her home, and I found her to be a very good cook and good looking, and so here I am.
What did they feed you, Persian ivy?
Persian shish kebab. Shish kebab and pilau.
Shish kebab?
And pilau.
Well, I'm all right. How are you? Are you still here, Jess?
Yes, sir.
You haven't made a move for several minutes. You're not playing football for USC now, you know. Tell me, what do you want to be after college? I mean, do you want to play professional football?
No, sir. I'm hoping to go to the Olympics in 1952.
Well, I think you're smart and stay where the money is. Stay in college football. Now, Ducky, you don't mind if I call you Ducky, eh?
No, sir.
What did you want to be when you were a boy? Don't tell me a man, because that's a very old joke. What did you want to be when you were a boy?
I wanted to be a sheik like my father.
Your father was a sheik? Don't tell me he was Rudolph Valentino.
No, sir, he was not Rudolph Valentino. He was a real sheik.
Oh, Errol Flynn, huh? And you must be the son of the sheik, huh?
Son of my father, I was the son of a sheik, but now I am a sheik myself.
Oh, you are, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're a doc in sheik's clothing, is that right? Well, since you're also a chiropractor, you'd better straighten me out. You say you are a sheik?
Yes, sir.
Well, how do you find time to be a sheik?
You see, Mr. Marx, in this country they have different meaning for a sheik.
Yeah.
It looks like in this country you have to be a good-looking, a good storyteller, or a great lover in order to be sheik. When in Persia, it's altogether just the opposite. To be a sheik, you have to be a leader of a tribe, or a high priest, or a very well-trained leader in your field. Then you are known as a sheik.
That takes care of USC. Not a sheik on the squad. Now, Doc, I don't want to get nosy, but tell me, have you got a harem?
No, sir, I do not. It's because against the law.
I realize that, but answer my question. Were harems always illegal, Doc?
No, sir. Years ago, harems were legal in Persia. A man could have all the wives that he desired in order to get closer to his heaven.
Get closer to what?
To his heaven.
Why would a man... That's why a man would want more than one wife, so he'd be closer to heaven?
Yes, sir.
That's certainly getting to heaven the hard way. Are there still many harems in Persia?
No, sir, there are not. It's against the law now. But there are a few places that they still would leg him.
Well, see if you can get me a case of 20-year-old stuff right off the boat, will you? Why did they figure they were closer to heaven if they had a number of wives?
You see, Mr. Marx, when we figure in Persia, when you have only one wife, she might be a good cook, maybe ugly, or not good dancer, or good singer. But if you have more than one wife, one will be good cook, one will be good dancer, one will be good singer. In this way, you receive all the pleasures of life right here, and then you are closer to your heaven.
Yeah, under those conditions, the cook certainly gets a great deal, all right. Slaving over a hot pot roast all day. While you're out dancing with 6 other wives. Now, Red Grange, that's you. Since we have a chiropractor here, perhaps we can squeeze a little free advice from him, huh? Have you ever come out of a game with a Charlie horse?
Yes, sir, many times.
What'd you do about it?
Well, I had the trainer rub it and had it wrapped.
Well, after he wraps it, where do you send it to? Santa Anita? What do? You rub it down with alcohol? Is that
yes,
what you...
sir.
Can be very dangerous, you know. My Uncle Julius hurt his back. Aunt Minnie rubbed it with alcohol. Then Uncle Julius sprained his neck trying to lick it off. Now, as a football player, what's been your most embarrassing moment, Jess?
Well, the most embarrassing moment I ever had was I was playing football down in San Diego Navy, and we had a big banquet where all the high mucky muck brass was there, and I was sitting at the table with the speakers, and I accidentally knocked over a coffee pot in the big shot slab.
What happened?
I had a lot of time to think that over.
Coffee was much cheaper in those days, too. Now, Shiki, in your profession, you must have had a few spine-tingling experiences. Can you recall any incident in particular that you'd care to discuss?
Well, one of them was very embarrassing. When I first got to this country, my first professional match, I was booked as the great wrestling sheik of Persia. The arena was all sold out. As I entered into the ring, I thought I'll show them how Persian wrestlers are. And there we are trained to be very mannerly, very polite. So naturally I walked in, I bowed to the public, and I bowed to the referee, and then I bowed to the wrestler, and went back to my corner. When the bell rang again, I bowed to the public, and I bowed to the referee. And as I bowed to the wrestler, he let me have one right, close right to the chin. I went back, and he let me have one in the stomach, and I bowed again, and that was the end of the match.
Well, that'll teach you not to be polite in this country, huh? It was a short match, huh?
Very short.
Next time, use a lighter. Now, in addition to being a sheik and a chiropractor, you also are a professional wrestler, huh, Doc?
I used to be.
You can take a person apart and then put them back together again, huh? Where have you wrestled?
I have wrestled just about throughout the world. I have held 3 professional titles. The Asiatic welterweight, catch and jiu-jitsu title, also the junior middleweight belt of the world.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. You do jiu-jitsu too, huh? I didn't know you did jiu-jitsu, Doc. I hope you'll overlook any remarks I made here. If you don't, my friends can overlook me at Cedars 11 between 2 and 4 next Sunday. Well, you've been an interesting couple, and physically I'll never be the same. Now, before we proceed, George, is something from our sponsor.
Certainly do, Groucho. For Jess, these beautiful Elgin American pearls. They're the finest pearls made by man, Jess.
Jess, you're going to look lovely in those things. That'll fit right on the USC squad. Huh?
I had in mind maybe, Jess, you could give these to your girl.
Thanks very much.
You bet you're welcome.
No, you can throw them at the football, and then it'll be pearls before swine.
I have a gift for the
doctor. Well, they are
too.
pigskins. What have you got for Shiki over here?
For the doctor, I have this exclusive Elgin American Square Compact in jeweler's bronze that looks like gold. I'm sure your wife will enjoy it very much, Doctor.
It's a good thing we're not doing this in Persia. You'd have to have 7 of those, huh? Okay, let's play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other 2 couples, you'll get a crack at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners. Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous rivers as your category. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, you've got $20. How much do you want to try?
10, sir.
10? Here's your first question. Hoover Dam controls the waters of what great western river? Talk right up.
Colorado.
Colorado is right.
And they're off to a good start with $30.
All right, now you got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the 30 are you going to try?
$10, sir.
$10. All right. What is the name of the sacred Indian river of the Hindus? They bathe in its waters to be purified.
I know it, too. Not Nile.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Get mixed up.
I'm sorry, it's the Ganges.
Ganges, yeah. I get mixed up.
Well, that's a tough one. That's not
no,
too
I
easy.
should know that.
Well, you ought to know it, yes.
They now have $20, Groucho.
Well, you only lost 10 that time. You still have $20. And here's your third question. How much of the 20 will you try?
Okay. Yeah, $10.
$10. What is the name of the northwestern river where the salmon spawn each year? The Grand Coulee Dam is on it.
Columbia.
The Columbia River.
And they're on their way again. They have $30.
All right, you're coming around the stretch now. Here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much will you bet? You got 30 bucks.
20.
$20. What is the name of the river immortalized by Mark Twain? It is called the Father of Waters.
Swanee River. No, we don't.
Wait. Come on now. Now think. Mark Twain wrote a couple of books about it. Mississippi, you said it right as the bell rang. Give it all.
And they wind up with a grand total of $50. And that means that the car hop and the married man with $228 get the chance at the $1,000 question.
Well, I'm sorry, but you did pretty well at that, though.
And now a word from Myron Wallace. And here's the car hop and the married man, our winning couple tonight, Groucho.
Ready to try for $1,000, eh? Good luck, and I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so talk it over thoroughly, and no help from the audience. You rascals out there. Okay, here we go. You ready? You got your thinking caps on? Okay. In 1876, government troops were annihilated in the Battle of the Little Big Horn. What general was in command of the doomed forces? All right, now what is the answer you two have decided upon?
The only one I can think of is Custer.
General Custer is right. That's right, you win $1,000. Well, you had the right answer, so you win $1,000 from Elgin American Compacts, and you also win $270, $78. Or is it $228? $228. Well, a few bucks. You really cleaned up tonight. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you very much.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,000. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life.
Well, this brings us to the end of 3 very pleasant years of association with Elgin American Compacts. And I'd like to thank them for their interest and cooperation in presenting our show. Next week, we'll have a new sponsor. So I'll say good night with this final reminder. Have you looked at your compact lately? Good night.